Right, what excites you for gamers and Star Trek fans to experience in the game?
You know, we're excited because Star Trek, the video game, is the most authentic Star Trek game made to date. We wanted to take all that great stuff that you saw in the last 2009 movie and bring that into the gaming space. So you're going to see Kirk and Spock and all the crew from the Enterprise as performed by Chris Pine and Zach Quinto, Zoe Saldana and Simon Pegg. You're going to get an all-new, unique, and original storyline that was written in collaboration with our filmmaking team, but also with Marianne Krozik, who worked on the God of War series. You're going to get to play on new planets, get to see a new enemy in the Gorn that you haven't seen since the Arena episode from the classic series 40-something years ago. We're excited to bring Star Trek to really the AAA gaming space.
What makes this game different from other Star Trek games?
This is the first real game based on the 2009 film, and what I mean by that is it really is a full-on story and experience. You get to live this untold adventure of Kirk and Spock and travel with them to New Vulcan as Spock's people are trying to rebuild their planet after what happened in the last movie. You get to uncover this new plot, you get to track down this enemy that I think fans are going to truly fall in love with.
How does this game bridge the gap between the two movies?
We wanted to make sure that we had a game that could live on its own. Our goal was to make a great game, not just a great Star Trek game. That was just sort of the icing on the cake. We wanted to make sure that we were telling a story that players hadn't seen before. It was a story big enough that it could have been a movie on its own. It takes place in between the two movies, so after the 2009 film, Kirk and Spock and the crew have come together, they're out on their missions, and before Into Darkness, which opens in May of this year. Please buy your tickets. And we're excited to bring this to the gamers.
How did the development team go about meeting expectations fans had after seeing the first film?
We were really challenged. I mean, the good thing was the bar was set really high. What we did and JJ and his team did on the last film was really make a Star Trek film that surpassed even our lofty goals with the relaunch and the reboot of the brand. And it was really a big challenge and a big responsibility that we had. And we felt like we only had one shot to get it right, which was to take that new property and this new love people had for Star Trek, which we've loved for 40-something years, and bring it to the gaming space in a really big way, in a way that we don't think has been done before. And we're excited by the product that we're going to have you play here shortly.
As a gamer, how involved was J.J. Abrams?
We've collaborated with the entire filmmaking team, and being from Paramount Pictures, it was important for us to work with not only our filmmakers, but our costume designers and our script department and the special effect team and ILM, all the way down to working with all the main actors from the movie, and including Michael Giacchino and his team, who wrote the music for the last movie, bringing brand new, over 2 hours of custom, brand new music into our game. It's not something most games do, and it's something we're really proud to have brought into a Star Trek game.
Are there any Easter eggs the gamers can get that might hit at something in the movie?
I am not going to be able to disclose if there's any cool little secrets that'll happen in the film, but I will tell you that there are some great Easter eggs, not only to the old property. If you're a big Star Trek fan, you'll remember the Arena episode, which really introduced the Gorn. We have some amazing callbacks to that episode, but also to other episodes like Amok Time, which is this great episode where Kirk and Spock had to fight against each other. And when you're making a co-op game where you have to battle side by side with somebody as sort of collaboratively, we thought what better opportunity than 8 hours or so into the game to have to fight your partner. So there's some great Easter eggs. We have some great tribbles that are sort of hidden in there as sort of these little Easter egg things, but also I can't disclose everything that we have.
Why did you make this game a co-op game?
If you look at what Star Trek is, Star Trek has always been about, for us, two characters. It's been about Kirk and Spock. It's been about these two halves of really our own personality, whether you think you're more like Kirk, where you're this brash cowboy who just sort of runs into a situation shooting, or if you're more like a Vulcan and Spock, where you're much more logical and emotionless. And I think we all struggle with that on a daily basis on who we are as people. And if you break down Star Trek into that sort of bucket of it's really the core of these two characters, there was no other game we could make but a co-op game.